Hello and welcome to Awaken Women Academy. I'm so excited to welcome all of you in this space. I feel so honored and blessed to be guiding you through this experience. And I believe that we're all souls connected at some level, on a subtle levels, and we all come right now into this very special inception point in time on our planet where people are awakening, where people are rising, especially women. We are right now coming into this balance between masculine and feminine. And we've been living so long in a patriarchy world, both men and women. And right now, women are rising, women are awakening, rising. And not because we want to overpower. No, we want to bring what needed to be bring into balance because for so many years, thousands of years, we've lived in a very imbalanced earth. Hence, we see what we see in happening in the world right now. It's a chaos. And right now, I'm launching this community. November, I launched it on 11/11 of 2025, and I love the date 11/11. This is I am 11th life path, and 11's been the number that's been following me for so long. Before I actually awoke, woke up and realized what it all means. And 6 years ago, on 11/11, I ran my first retreat in Mexico, Tulum, and this is where I kind of launched my mission. I have finally said yes to this because, of course, as you can imagine, there's always resistance. There is always a human self try to interfere. But I'm right now completely surrendered to my divine self, to my higher self in this journey. And I remember 10 years ago, more than 10 years ago now, when I was going through spiritual awakening, I read this quote by Rumi that said, "The desire to know your soul will end all other desires." And I have to tell you, I kind of been living by this quote in so many ways. And now I understand and feel, and I can promise you that when you make your connection to your soul, your pure, one and only pure desire, every other human desire will manifest, will come into fruition, will come true. When you follow that North Star, your soul, that's when everything's going to get aligned in your life. So I know that whoever's going to come into the space, and I'm envisioning there's going to be hundreds of people watching this eventually, whoever's going to be joining this community, I trust that we have this soul resonance, the frequency match of sorts, that you are here right now at this point in time, that either you found me through social media or maybe you got a referral through a friend, somehow you're here. And I'm creating this community for all those women who are truth seekers, who are not bypassing, who are not bystanding, who are not just spectaculars. They actually inner work. They're actually the ones that are choosing truth. They're choosing freedom. And I'm attracting to the space. My prayer is that women that are gonna come into the space, into this academy, community, however you want to call it, they are those women that are ushering those high vibrational frequencies into the earth, into this planet, by of course doing the first and foremost their own inner work, and then spreading that beauty, that light, that love into the world. So I welcome all of you healers, mothers, artists, creatives, coaches, architects, engineers, women in corporate that are leading big teams, that are leading movements, all of you that are architects of this new reality who are here to change the world. And you understand that the most important thing right now, yes, we have human desires. I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I love beautiful things, I love aesthetics, I love to travel, I love all these things, and I get to play and enjoy them. But first and foremost, the devotion to your soul and to healing takes precedence over anything else. So I really encourage you to go for it, to go into unknown, to go into that space that yes feels sometimes scary. That can be so lonely. That's why I'm opening the space for more people to come in, for more women to come in, because I wished I had the space 10 years ago. Because as I was going through my spiritual journey and losing so many people in my life, friends, leaving my corporate, like, my circle became so small, people that I felt like I'm so misunderstood. And there are no other people that resonate with me, understand me it's a very lonely journey. And especially like and I know you know it, because I'm sure all of you, and it's so cute when somebody of you said, like, are you not sure if you're awakened? There's absolutely no chance you would be in this space with me today if you won't be awakened at some sort, at some level. And there's no hierarchy here. It's not that I'm a guru standing here teaching you. I want you to really, like, really, really feel into it. I'm not a guru. I'm only here to help you awaken and remember that you have your own guru within, and you are a sovereign being, and you should only listen to your heart and to your intuition. Yes, I may be helping you right now to reconnect with that intuition in a voice so you can trust it. But as much as I'm excited and welcoming you into the space, I'm going to be just as exciting and cheering you on if at some point you decide, you know what, I feel complete with Elena. I understood this or that. And I'm now, like, you live in the tribe, you live in this group because you want to do some other things, and you just want to be on your own. I'm going to just cheering you on just as much as I'm cheering you on the way in, just so much as you would decide that you want to leave the space. Because at the end of the day, my prayer is that you are awakening to your own sovereign being, to your own divine self, into your own crystal self, that you are feeling that everything you ever will need, everything you will ever need is inside of you, and there's nobody else can give it to you. And as I said, I'm here to be a tuning fork for you, because I've done so much work. I've walked this path so much, and I'm speaking from a very embodied place of being. I'm not here recycling some surface level stuff that exists in the coaching industry. Even in the world of spirituality, there's so much false light. And my prayer to all of us to really reconnect so much with our own divine self, our own intuition, that we can't see, we can feel when we're in the presence of truth, or we were in the presence of false light with a lot of distortion presenting itself as truth in a pretty aesthetics, in a high vibe kind of thing, right? It's important to really discern and know. And for that, yes, sometimes we have to go through our own journey of shedding the layers and changing the frequency so that we can connect to that pure frequency of us. Like, think of it as you are a radio station and you have antennas up, right? But when your frequency is distorted, you know how on a radio, sometimes you can, like, you miss a mark and you go on a frequency that's slightly off, and there's like the static. Very often we live in that static, that we cannot hear the true self. We cannot hear the truth, the wisdom, right? And we're distorted. So the goal is, first and foremost, is to awaken. We need to do two things. We're awakening, right? And a second thing, we are aligning. And how we align is by doing all these shedding. Not that we need to get something new, right? We're not here to create new. We're here to remember ancient, the ancient wisdom within us, the ancient knowledge, not just the knowledge. So knowledge could be just information. The wisdom is something that's residing within our bodies, within our heart. And that is the feminine path, right? This is the path, not of the mind, of the logic, even though I love that. It's the path of the divine feminine, the path of inner body, in the frequency of our aura, in our hearts. So I want to start by setting the intention in the space that I'm calling in the light, and I'm asking the source, right? God, source, however you want to call it, right? People call it God, source, universe, high intelligence, however we call it, right? We have to be humble enough to know that there's some higher guidance, higher being that's guiding us all. So I'm calling on the space that only the truth, only the high vibration of eternal life comes through into the space, that all of us, whoever's going to come into this community, are protected from any energies that want to distort us. That I want to create this space that it's really pure and light. And this space will only exist if all of you participate and hold this high vibration. Again, I'm not just here as a guru standing on a pedestal and telling you something, right? I want you all, whoever's going to come into the space, to know that you are part of this community, right? You are part of this community. And I love how school, this new website, this new application, however you want it, platform, was created a few years ago. I don't know when it was created, but I was invited to it a couple of years ago into one of the communities. And I kind of like the concept of it, right? Like, you join, you can post, you can share, you can reply to other people's questions, right? There are different levels that you can ascend through. And it's beautiful. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to one day create this. And I have to be honest with you, I created first, like for the first time, I created a community and I called it a Renaissance Woman. And that was 3 years ago, exactly 3 years ago. Actually, also in November, I created this community. And then I needed to close it down because I was going through a dark night of the soul, another one. My mom passed away, and I didn't feel that I could hold space for other people. I really wanted to, and I don't want to be that coach that just like, I really wanted to like take a pause, a sacred pause, and grieve, and go into my own journey, to heal my feminine energy, to heal my inner child. With my mom now connecting to me on another side, I became that much more psychic. I became so powerful because there was so much pain and trauma that I was able to alchemize into gold, into wisdom. The power that I feel right now, the love that I feel for myself, the knowledge that got activated and remembered within me. The past 3 years were one of the most profound years of my life, because as I was going through grief, as I was losing people that I loved from my life, I also knew there's an initiation. There's an initiation that I needed to go through, and I did. And I feel right now that it's time for me to reopen the space now in a school community. But again, I feel like this space is only going to prosper and thrive if all of you participate and help each other. And also, right now, this community is free, right? And very often I see that people don't appreciate what is given for free. And I know that has to be a sacred energy exchange between us all. And there are going to be layers to it. So I want to eventually, whoever wants to, be closer with me and go deeper into the teachings, I'm going to create it in a circle, more like a paid membership within this membership. But right now, the doors are open to whoever has ears to hear and eyes to see, whoever's resonating, whoever wants to do this journey with me, right? The doors are open. I'm making myself available because I wish I had me 10 years ago when I was going through this journey by myself. I mean, I've met spiritual teachers. I've met incredible people in my life, and I absolutely have no regrets, no fears. Like I feel so complete right now. I was actually having a thought the other day, like if I were to go tomorrow home to my stars, if I were to go home tomorrow, I feel complete. This is how I feel in my life right now, that I've entered this bonus round of this game. Bonus round of this game, and of course my soul will not let me leave this place right now, because the biggest party on in the universe, the biggest party right now is on earth. Is on earth because we're gonna go through so many changes. I mean, we're already going through so many changes since 2012, and it was prophesied that it's going to be end of the world. It was the end of the world that we knew, right? We're entering into this new world, into fifth dimension. And in the next, from 2025 to 2030, this next 5 years, they're going to be a line drawn in the sand. And unfortunately, there are going to be a lot of people unknowingly on another side of this line. I mean, we're all divine. We're all like, so it's not going to leave anyone, right? But right now on earth, they're going to be, I feel, a division of sorts. When people choose light, they choose heart, they choose ascension, they choose that, versus they staying behind and, choosing AI, choosing transhumanism, whatever it is, right? I know you're here because your soul called you in, that you are going into the ascension, you're going into fifth dimension, you're going with me. We're walking each other home. Not that I am leading and you're following. Maybe at some point in time, it feels like that's what I felt with me, is that I've met some teachers, I've met some healers that I needed to walk side by side or slightly behind them. But I had an incredible teachers who at some point said, you're now ready to walk on your own, right? And I feel that you all here with your specific, special, unique codes, special blueprint, and somehow you got attracted to the space, to my frequency, that for some reason it's meant to be. And like Estella, for example, I was thinking about you today, how you just found me through a comment that I left on Dr. Nicole's post, right? About how we are having these connections between us at a soul level that can go to the past lives. Because I believe we do not born with a clean slate. We are born with amnesia. We're born with forgetting who we are and where we came from, right? We're born with it, but we're not born with a clean slate when it comes to our energetic field, our morphogenetic field. And spirituality is science. One day, very soon, people will realize that spirituality is science. It's not just some woo-woo concept. And I will never allow anyone to diminish the work that women are doing in spiritual work. I will not allow it in my space. This is for the most evolved. This is not just who have high IQs. You can have a high IQ and have very low wisdom or low consciousness. This is the woman in the space who have high consciousness, and it's going to get even higher and higher and higher as you're going to be doing the work, as you're going to be working with me in the space. So what I wanted to say is that, Estelle, like you found me the other day and you're already sitting here today with me, right? And I remember business coach once telling me, well, Elena, you have to post more, you have to share more, because it takes, the research shows that in order for somebody to sign up with you, they have to see you for 14 times. They have to see your content for 14 times in order for like finally realize that they need your work. And I said, no, people do not need to see me 14 times. People need to hear me and see me once to know if I'm holding that vibration and there is a match to us frequency-wise at a soul level, that you want to be in my space, right? So, Kennedy, you did as well. Like you see one post and you join me. Exactly. I don't need to be 14 times, because 14 times is for those who's recycling the same information, paraphrasing each other and not embodying the truth. They just put pretty aesthetics on it in a branding. They need to be in front of people for 14 times. I only need to be in front of people once for them to know my people, right? And I know I also have people who join me. Like I had somebody join me today in the community. She's not on a call today, but she told me, I've been following you for years and I want to join the community. And sometimes people follow me for years and finally decide that they want to join me, not because of my frequency or because I needed to show up 2,500 times in front of them. It's because they finally ready. And again, this is not a hierarchy. It's not because I'm vibing high and they're not. I also went through the journey to raise my vibration, as we all do, right? So she's joining me now because finally there is a resonance that she wants to be in my space and learn from me. But one of my best clients came into my world, into my sphere, when they saw me once on Explorer page of Instagram or somewhere else. So what I'm trying to say is that there is a frequency, and frequency speaks louder than any branding, any aesthetics would be. And I love aesthetics. You could see, like, I love dressing up. I have half of my birth chart in Libra. Actually, I have a Libra in a 12th house, Sun, Moon, Mercury, Pluto. When astrologers look at my chart, they're like, oh my God, you're an oracle. You're here to walk the beauty way. Woman gonna resonate with you on so many levels. I'm here to speak the truth. In this space, I'm so freaking tired of Instagram and how shallow it is. Human is in Libra. I know that's why we resonate, right? Sometimes it's an astrology, sometimes it's some sort of a codes that bring us together. So what I wanted to say is that on Instagram, like it's so hard to get through the noise, right? Because there's so much content and people sometimes you need to post just to get through to people can find your post. I have like 20,000+ followers on my Instagram. I have like 500 people seeing my posts. And like, it's not even, it's hard to get through the algorithm because you have to be constantly posting and you have to be in a parameters of what you have to say. So it's like, acceptable in a way. I'm not here for it. Like that's why I'm creating the space. I promise you, I won't be using any filters here in terms of what I share. Like you can ask me anything and I will answer from what I know, what I embody, what I experienced, because I really want this to be a place where I can be truly fully myself. And I have so many layers to me. Like my best friend was sending me some reels. She's like, you should do this, because I'm very funny when I'm not online. Like whoever knows me personally, like I joke all the time. And she's like, maybe you should post post reels like that. And there was this woman, she's like pulling a very funny spin on the spirituality. I'm like, I'm not sure the world is ready for this, because I mean, there's so many layers to me, and I can joke and I can cry and I can play. And in this space, like this is for you just as much as it is for me. because I finally want to be in space with people. Even there's one person join, two people join, right? If there's like one or two of us, like if there's three of us, well, it's already a triangle, right? When there's a five of us, it's already a circle, right? When there's a 12 of us, it's almost like a tribe, right? It's like 12 apostles, right? If if even I can be in the spaces when I'm 3, 5, 12 people, I fly. I fly. I know that I'm being heard. I know there are hearts on another end that are listening, that are here for truth, that are resonating with me. So that's why I want to thank you all who's joining me right now live, who's going to watch this on replay. There is no space and time where our souls are connected, right? There's no linear time. So either you're going to listen to it now in November of 2025, or hopefully this community stays and you're going to listen to it 2, 3 years from now. Welcome. Your soul just as present with us now than it would be on a linear time on earth in 3D. So when I speak about alignment, and sometimes I speak really fast because this is how sometimes I channel. And I also got some feedback from a business coach. Elena, you should speak slower so people can really understand you. Okay, Elena, don't get dressed up so much. Elena, like I cannot be who I'm not. And I know it. Like if I'm truly in my frequency, I will attract the right people. And if I'm posting 14 times and attracting someone who's not meant to be, it's not good for both of us. It's just not good for both of us. So I want to be me. And there's so much I want to share. And again, like I said, join the community. There are different levels. So there's a tab that says classroom. And in that classroom, I posted a few free resources. One of them is a masterclass called Awaken. I was working for about 2, 3 months to record that masterclass because I really wanted to be digestible, understandable for people, but I also wanted to be myself and free and speak from my heart. So, and in that masterclass, I share my story. So I don't want to spend time right now sharing that story. You can always go into the recording and watch that masterclass. And I share about the 7 levels of awakening. Again, this is just based on how I went through it. And it's not linear because nothing is linear. Sometimes you awaken and you feel like, oh my God, I've healed. I'm in my ascension era. And then boom, you have another dark night of the soul. That's what happened in 2023 for me. When I lost people I loved in my life, and it just took me on such a deep, I went through my own death portal again. I went through a death portal again. And I'm like, for God's sake, why is this happening? Not again, like it didn't happen to me this way before. It happened so much deeper that I went through this very big transformation. But I now know it was for a reason. It was for a reason because I'm right now that much more powerful energetically, because I was able to really, like, we all have a dark and a light. We all have shadows. And if you are a soul like me, and you won't be the soul that didn't choose this and didn't come to this right now, earth, to be part of the solution, to be part of the awakening, to be part of the ushering this, anchoring this high vibration, you are a volunteer soul who chose this. And sometimes at a human level, you would be like, how did I sign up for this? This is so painful. You may go through a period of time where you're like questioning, how could I ever sign up for this? This is so painful. But I believe that we choose the lineage that we're born in, depending on what the soul curriculum you have to be going through. And I've shared in this masterclass Awaken, you can learn more about me, but I came from Soviet Union when I was 17 to America. And I have a lot of fears and conditioning that were programmed into me in my first 17 years of my life growing up in the Soviet Union. Then I decided that I want to live an abundant life because I have memories remembering how I would stand in line to get bread. And I thought I had everything growing up, but now understanding as an adult woman how poor we were and how many fears my parents were experiencing. And I went to business school to really, that's just what I wanted. Like I wanted to never, ever not have money. I wanted to have my own abundance. I wanted to make it my own. And I went through business school, graduated with honors, and got hired by top investment banking firm. Like it's harder to get to Goldman Sachs, where I worked for 19 years, than to get to Harvard. And each year there is a thing at Goldman Sachs that they let go of, they call it bottom 5 or bottom 10 every year. You have to be such a high performer to stay there for so many years that I stayed. And I operated there in so much logic, so much structure, so much of my masculine energy that turned to be very toxic in a way. And I burned out so much. I was feeling so disconnected from my soul. And I got programmed with a capitalism. Like I had communism the first 17 years of my life, then a capitalism the next 20 years of my life. And now I'm here to anchor these frequencies and believe in decentralized earth. I believe that we are here right now creating this new reality, communities, things are going to exist on this planet that are very not the way we experience in life right now. That we live really, and I trust and I believe, and I think like all spiritual people have to, in this lifetime, become both abundant, wealthy, and spiritual. Like this is the lifetime where we have to embody and bridge both material and spiritual. Because I have so many memories. I've done past life regression, hypnotherapy, in the plant medicine. I was shown where I had lifetimes where I was hurt for my gift. It's a witch wound, however you want to call it, right? I was persecuted for my gift. And right now, I remember one of my also mentors said, Elena, you have income generating gift when I left my corporate. But for me to really not be afraid to activate that income generating gift, and I don't look at it this way, it is a gift. It's a psychic gift. It's intuitive gift. It's a feminine gift. But in order for me to be speaking in front of you right now or sharing anything on social media, I remember first time I went live on Instagram, I was clicking live, I was shaking. Like I was in so much fear when I started to speak openly about spirituality. And I needed to heal so much of me in order to be sitting in front of you right now, sharing this wisdom, sharing this because it hasn't been easy. And if you are going right now through any changes like this in your life, when you are coming into your full bloom, when you finally understanding that you are a soul, a divine being having a human experience, and you're here to live on earth. And yes, I truly believe we're not just in service of others, because leadership, sacred leadership, starts with self-leadership. It starts with us having good relationship with ourselves, not just good, amazing relationship with ourselves, with our soul, integrating all these shadows that we may be carrying from ancestors, from a past life, from whatever, turning them to gold, becoming this alchemist. Lead to gold, we are changing the shadows into light. And when you do all of that, we got to be abundant. We got to be loved. We got to be wealthy and healthy, and we get to play. We get to play and enjoy this life. I feel so excited right now for where we're going. And I'm excited for all of you joining this space. I'm here to help you in whatever shape and form you'd like. Of course, I work privately with people. I work one-on-one. If you ever want to go into that work with me, you can join. I'm going to be adding different masterclasses to it at different levels. If you participate, you're going to have different levels unlock. I think right now I posted a 3-day workshop called The Art of Being a Woman, where I share about how it is for women important that we're all seeking and longing for it, is to activate all parts of ourselves becoming whole. And these parts, we're not just boss babes, we're not just mothers, we're not just here to hustle. We have mystics within us. We have lovers within us, this Aphrodite, Venus energy within us, right? We have the queen energy within us, goddess. When we bring this all of these things together, it is an art to be a woman. It is a blessing and an honor to be a woman in this lifetime. So I hope you're feeling this with me, how exciting it is to be alive and to be a woman. And yeah, sometimes it does take work, womb healing work, heart work, because to be magnetic, to be attracting all these amazing things into our life, we have to heal our heart chakra. We really have to move the energy up to our heart and heal whatever walls we may still be carrying. Resentment we may be carrying to past relationship, maybe to men, maybe to parents, to whoever. I promise you, where you're going to get to a point where whoever hurt you in life or whatever you experience in life, where you're going to feel forgiveness, total forgiveness and acceptance of what had happened. This is where you're fully healed. And you don't have to spend decades and years on that. Yes, if you're only keeping it at the mind level and only like reading books, listening to podcasts, and not implementing it every single day, then yeah, it takes years. So my advice would be for any hour of information that you consume, spend 2 hours embodying that wisdom. If you read about something, then spend 2 hours living it. Because just getting information, it's not equal transformation. Transformation and wisdom comes when we are practicing it every day. And the most spiritual journey for us women right now, not to be sitting in the mountains, in the caves, praying, meditating like monks, right? The most spiritual journey is actually being in the families, being on earth, being in the cities. I live in New York City, right? Like living among people that can constantly drain you, take energy from you, trigger you, but you do so much work on you that you are already in so much light, and you can create boundaries. You can know discernment. You can do these things to protect yourself. And I can teach you how to do that as well. So I'm so excited to be in this space with all of you. It's really an honor. And as I said, it's just as important for me as it is for you. So I'm here to answer your questions. If you can join live, you can put the questions in the comments and I'll try to address them on the next slide. So the lay of the land for the next few weeks, next couple of months. So I'm hoping to have these gathering at least once or twice a month. So we're now coming into the end of the year. I want to really, for sure, I'm going to do the year-end ceremony when we really put this year. It's so important to, you know, how we love to celebrate the beginnings, but we don't know how to celebrate the endings. So in order for us to get into the next year and do all the amazing things that you want to do in the next year, whatever your dreams are, right? Next year, for sure, we're going to do manifestation board, vision boards. I'm going to teach you how to really do that. I'm going to have a class on that. And I'm definitely going to host a ceremony to close off this year with gratitude. There is a process that I follow for many years of how I close the previous year before I enter the next year. So for sure, we're going to have a session in December that I'm excited for, where I will share all of that with you. And if you're in New York, I hope to do an event. I've done it a few times at the year end. Some sort of a celebration, like a holiday celebration. I have to pick a place where we're going to do it, but we'll do that as well. So if you're in New York, we're going to meet live and have either a workshop, a celebration, something's going to be coming. So stay tuned. I'm excited for it. So this is what I wanted to share today. And I'm here to answer your questions if you have. So either you want to put it in the chat, or if you want to come open up your cameras, your microphones, and ask me anything.